Sounds good.
All right, we can kick this off. I hope everything is correct. Yeah, looks like I have the overlays correct. Okay, we're doing a back-to-back, or I'm doing a back-to-back cast. I've switched co-casters here. So this is Therax, continuing with MWO casting here. And I've brought Giggity Giggity Goo in as co-caster. They volunteered to run the lobby here for me. Make things a little bit easier on my side.
Hello. Just waiting on St. Dane to take the invite here.
Yeah, I'm hoping that they accept soon, but they have messaged me that their specific player who is doing the 1v1 is going to be Chef Godzilla. I'll actually give you a copy-paste of that into the channel here. Maybe you can copy-paste, send them an direct invite.
Yeah, I'm friends with him.
Okay, great. That makes things easier. So let's do a little intro here while we wait for the teams to show up, though. Okay, so what we have is a Division E match between Raptor Talons and Black Sheep Squadron, and these two teams have 6 points between them. They're playing for first place today. That's straight up how it is. I mean, there is another team sitting a little bit behind them. Raptor Talons is 216. The Pi Black Sheep Squadron has 210. Team Optic has 197. So Team Optic with a big win could push their way into first place, but Raptor Talons and Black Sheep Squadron are very much in the driver's seat for that 1-2 spot going into this last match. We'll see how these teams do today, if they can secure their first place, either of these teams, or at least secure their second place. Or if in the head-to-head, you could lock up your first place by pushing the opponents into a position where they're going to fall into third. So it's going to be a hard-fought match today, I do hope. It's Division E, so not exactly the same high skill play that we see in Division A, but these players and teams very much know what they're doing. We should be seeing meta builds, good focus fire, aggression, and just some all-around good decision making. Division E, they know what's up. They're not slouches by any extent. Raptor Talons.
I've taken a look at the essentially the scoreboard here for the rest of the tournament. I do think it's still first place is still up in the air between the top three teams. Raptors is what is it?
Yeah, 216 for Raptors, so
19 points above the third place. So if Raptors and Pi wind up going essentially even, 30, 40-ish points each,
yep.
And SROT, the current third place team, winds up just sweeping through NAF Clam Command, taking all 70. That's how SROT gets right up to first place and knocks the two teams playing right now back down to second and third in some order.
Yeah, and Team Optic is going to be playing against NAF Clam Command. So that is the actual fourth place team there. So there's a bit of a gap between Team Optic and NAF, but it's not exactly like they're playing against the current bottom team in the division or anything like that. That could also be a quite strong match. It's not overly likely to be a 70 point to 0 type match, or 70 points to 12 or whatever. I don't think anyone's actually casting that match. No, I'm incorrect. That match actually should have been streamed 2 hours earlier on Trout's personal channel. So I don't know the results of NAF versus Team Optic. These two teams, the Pilots in Exile, Black Sheep Squadron, and Raptor Talons, they might know the results of that Team Optic versus NAF Clan Command game. They might know how many points they need, but I personally do not know. I did not have time to watch that match, or haven't seen the score. We're still waiting for... There we do. We have the player in lobby now.
There we go. There's a chef.
Yeah, I'm thanking both these teams for waiting for me to come over, finish up with the previous match, be able to cast their match. I know that they've been waiting, and they do have time constraints, so they were hoping to play this out as fast as possible. Did we cover everything? Anything I need to run over here? I think I introduced you. I don't know if you want to expand?
I am Giggity. I'm a huge fan. Long walks on the beach. Things of that nature. I did play for Raptor Talons in Blood Leagues, I think it was. So I am a little bit biased towards them, but by no means do I think they have this in the bag here. Pi's definitely not one of the easier teams in this division. And it looks like both teams are locked.
Okay, well, if they are locked, then we can kick off.
Launching. This is the 1v1 coming in with two linebackers on Boreal Reach. I can't recall, what is the linebacker build? Is it the medium pulse build that's on the trial mech?
Yeah, 6 medium pulse. Come on, I buggered up my camera. How do I fix this again? Oh, there we go. I'm getting good at this. Alright, teams are coming in. They're using trial mechs. There's no enhancements on these, assuming that the lobbies are set correct, which I do believe they were. So it's 6 medium pulse. They don't have any quirks, no structure, no armor bonuses, just no consumables, so they don't have cool shots, and they don't have skill trees either. So these are bare bones basic. It's a competent build though. All those medium pulses are in the center, in the torsos. 1 in the center torso, 2 in the right torso, 3 in the left torso. Early damage coming out. Neither player seeming to have a lead at this point. They've run past each other, so they want to play at range, but they've switched sides, which is an interesting maneuver. So these mechs will run a little bit toasty without a skill tree, and they don't have a cool shot to get out of that.
Neither of them appear to be doing any better focus fire than the other. Damage seems to be kind of spreading all over the place, opening arms, and then just scattering across the rest of the mech.
Yeah. Looks like they're going torso. I don't see a focus on legs. Open side torso on Minister, so they are down right now in percentages. And when that side torso pops, they're going to have a heat spike. So definitely an advantage here for the Raptor Talons pilot, Chef Godzilla. Percentages are close still, though. There the side torso goes. Minister has lost a side torso. And Chef Godzilla, I mean, they've got to be smelling blood. They're just pushing in now. They should have a significant heat lead here in terms of heat capacity, heat dissipation, and they also have more weaponry. Side torso is opened up on Chef Godzilla. This could turn. No, power down. Minister is overheated.
Power down, no good.
Side torso is open, and that's it. Chef Godzilla picks up the 1v1. Raptor Talons gets an early lead.
Oh yeah, look at that damage score difference. It seemed to me Chef was just firing more, just a lot more. He got the first volley off unreturned. He got, I think, the third volley off unreturned. He was just able to shoot quite a bit more, and it looked like, at least in the beginning, once he did start going for that side torso, he was just able to keep his shots on target more than Minister was. Minister also got kind of stuck in a bad position there. Chef took somewhat of the high ground on one of those little hills, able to get his guns down on Minister's torsos, just barely peeking up over the boxes that Minister was hiding behind. And unfortunately, with the kind of lower mounts on this linebacker, Minister just wasn't able to return fire. So Chef was able to get a few more unanswered shots in on him.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good summary. Neither player had exceptionally sharp focus fire, or conversely, both players were rolling damage quite well. Next up, we are going on to Liao Jungle. It's going to be a 2v2 between an assault and a medium. For both teams, they each have 1 assault, 1 medium.
It's like Team 1 already readying up at 150 ton.
Yeah. So 150, they're leaving potentially 5 points on the board. Doesn't really tell you a lot. Oh, Team 2's locked as well. Well, here we go. This is what I was hoping for. 135 tons out of the Raptor Talons in this drop.
If I had to wager a guess, I'm expecting a dire wolf and possibly a packet coming out of Team 1, out of Pi. I think they might have been maybe influenced by that drop that you cast earlier, EQ versus, I think it's Imperion is what they're calling themselves.
Yeah, Imperion. Which I continually was messing up the name. Try to do better. Okay, I'm going to look at the blue team coming in here. That would be Pi Black Sheep Squadron. Direwolf and Hunchback. I want to get those builds quick. What do we have? Looking at the Direwolf, Prime with 1 UAC 20, 2 UAC 10, 2 UAC 5, so that's a mid-range burst build. And Hunchback 2C with 2 Ultra 20s. It's got a heat scale limit +1 there, so they can fire both those Ultra 20s at the same time.
Coming in over for Raptors, we have a Scorch, standard quad CERM 6 2 LB20 build, and a CERM 6 packet. So they got Brawl, Brawl, Brawl. Looks like they're going to have to be the ones to move in.
Yeah, early damage coming from that Direwolf. And so Raptor Talons is taking cover behind terrain, trying to figure out how they're going to make this push. Taking a lot of damage on approach, as expected. But it's spread.
It's tough. That's a very tough approach to make when you're running Brawl. The enemy's got some range on you.
Yeah.
By going to the exact correct spot to receive a push, where Raptors just can't return fire until they're right up on.
Oh no. St. Dane has been halved. They're losing that second side torso. It's going to be up to Lunar Storm to try and pick up 1 kill here. Direwolf is almost legged. Both legs are open on that Direwolf. Lunar Storm can probably pick up that kill. And that would be a valuable 2 points for their team. Can they get this? Can they finish it off? Lunar Storm goes down, only takes 1 leg off the Direwolf before getting cored out center torso. So here we have a return of the Phantom Ogres in Exile, so that's what Pi stands for, and Black Sheep Squadron. And they pick up the win. That Direwolf putting out monster damage there for their team.
Yeah, that's a tough one. That was a straight Mech Lab counter with that Direwolf. The Scorch is going at absolute maximum, high 70s. So going high 70s, having to push in there like that, not being able to get into your optimal range at such a distance, it's very, very difficult. They kind of just lost that one, it seemed, in the Mech Lab, plus Pi knowing exactly where to go to receive that type of push.
I would agree with that assessment. Mech Lab win there for one of these teams. So that kind of evens up our match going into the next drop. I mean, not quite evens up. It actually puts Black Sheep Squadron ahead. They now have 6 points to the 2 points of the Raptor Talons. 1 more 2v2 to be played. It's going to be a light and a medium on Steiner Coliseum.
This one, I'm kind of excited to see this one, what people bring kind of throughout the tournament. If just like it always is on Steiner, like it always was in Solaris, it comes down to, are you the guy who sits on that back mound and tries to receive the push? Are you the guy who's going to push in? It can be kind of rock, paper, scissorsy. It can also just be pure skill, being able to get, if they are doing some sort of, one team is doing some sort of receive, the other team being able to just push right on in and ignore the damage and get their Brawl right on up there.
Yeah, I actually like Steiner Coliseum as a dueling map. There just are ways to play it, Brawl or range, and that is something that a lot of maps, they tend to favor one or the other. Teams are ready. 75 tons for Black Sheep Squadron, 80 tons for the Raptor Talons. Both teams leaving a fair bit of tonnage on the floor. Maximum tonnage for the drop with a light and a medium would be 35, 55, so 90 tons total. So at 75 tons, a team is 15 tons under. At 80 tons, a team is 10 tons under the maximum. Both these teams are ready to play. We're not waiting around for them. Very nice to see. I'm going to be looking at the Team 1 here in the blue, which is the Black Sheep Squadron. I've got a Nova and a Mistling, so I want to get those builds before we move on. Nova with 12 small pulse, Mistlings with heavy machine gun and heavy small laser.
Coming in with Raptors, we have a Packet and a Kit Fox D, both of which running CERMs. 8 CERM 6 on the Packet and 4 CERM 6 Artemis on the Kit Fox.
Okay.
So it looks like we just have DPS versus high alpha.
Yeah, Kit Fox having Artemis. I've seen not Artemis on that Kit Fox set of 8 build, and I've seen Artemis on it, so I think the difference is with Artemis you're a little bit low on ammo, but there's only 2 targets to kill here, so not a big concern, I would think. Both teams are playing a little bit cagey here in the initial movement. So the range advantage I would give to Black Sheep Squadron. They've got small pulse against those SRMs. They do have... They don't have to be in optimal range. They can put out a little bit of damage with that small pulse if they get the angle. So far, no shots have landed yet.
It's like they're just having a Mexican standoff, staring at each other across the midfield here, deciding who's going to be the one to take the disadvantage, essentially, and push in.
Yeah. Personally, as the Nova, I think that they should be finding an angle here, but they don't want to move to a location where they can get rushed. And the Raptor Talons are making good use of cover here. Well, we've got...
They're still slightly out of range. When he was up on the platform there, they're at about 446.
Okay.
I'm not sure if small pulse can cut that distance.
Do Raptor Talons know where that Nova's moved to? They are not looking in that direction. Now they should have gotten an angle there to see it. Still not pushing. Here we go. A little bit of chip damage coming out of that small pulse. Nova's playing behind the hill, though, trying to use the jump jets to pop-tart it. So the Huntsman is getting in relatively healthy here. Now the Nova's got Max landing in amongst them with a jump jet there from the Huntsman to get in. Light on medium, and the mediums are just trying to go after each other as well, so these lights are being ignored right now. Huntsman has open leg, open side, center torso. Nova is cooking off. Nova's gone down. So this Huntsman is about to die as well, I would imagine. That Mistlings is not looking very healthy from cutback, open center torso. Kit Fox is focusing them down a little bit. This is... Okay. Mech is dropped back down. Continue the fight. And the Huntsman goes down, but the Kit Fox picks up the kill on that Mistlings. That was a center torso kill on the Mistlings and a center torso kill on the Paquette. So, well played from both teams. Raptor Talons coming out with the win, but the Black Sheep Squadron picking up some return points.
That was a hairy brawl. That was a really nasty brawl there. They were tripping all over each other. It looked like the Nova was trying to initially to go for the Huntsman's legs, and then just got too close to him, and the craziness of it all with the Kit Fox on his back. Switched to CT, opened to CT. Huntsman kills the Nova. That was pretty wild.
Yeah, chaotic brawl. The jump jets being used there to try and land behind the opponent. Didn't quite get those one-shot back shots that maybe they were looking for. But very strong play coming out of everyone there. Damage totals reflected as well. And actually this match has now tied up 8 points each team. With the return kill there for Black Sheep Squadron, they managed to pick up some points. And yeah, 8 points to 8 points. So neck and neck getting into the 5v5 portion of this match.
Double checking the lobby settings here.
Yeah, should be 12 minutes. Conquest, Vitric Station looks right. So we're going on to 5v5 single cap Conquest. Theta cap is the active cap. Map is Vitric Station. So the cap is in the basement, but I expect teams are going to be playing on the high ground, up on the ramps. We'll see how this goes. And there's a 200-ton limit. So should be fast and brawly. Although Vitric Station, there are plenty of opportunities to try and play with range overwatch using jump jets on the flanks, or even on the back some of the high points. We'll see what these teams elect to do.
Yeah, I've been kind of waiting for a team. You can, on one of those back flanks, put something like a Shadowcat up there that has not perfect, but very good eyes towards Theta. So I have been kind of waiting to see someone do almost a Theta hold strat. Send in some speedier mechs, your Arctic Wolves, Vipers, things of that sort, to get Theta, and then put something like a Shadowcat or something along those lines on the back flanks to hold it, and force the enemy to push into them with some sort of range overwatch, essentially holding in the back. Now, would that work? I have no idea, but I have seen it work in other tournaments and other drops, just not in this one yet.
Yeah, I think that it's possible to do like a backline receive. If teams were to elect to do that, where you play on the high ground, but you play toward the back of the ramps instead of pushing up toward the center. I mean, the cap isn't really a significant threat in these light drops, I don't think. After you kill your opponents, you can send your survivors to go grab all the other cap points. This is a small map, so as long as you're not legged, one mech would be able to go and grab 3 cap points in like under 2 minutes. So both teams are looking like
they're
they
both
are
locked, and we are sending.
Getting that switched over, trying to avoid the radio cast today. Oh boy. So far so good.
I didn't pull my trademark forget to switch from skirmish to conquest again, so we're looking like we may have a big boy stream here.
Here's hoping. Yeah, action-packed day for me. Doing a lot of casting here today, so anyone who wants to watch more MechWarrior Online comp, feel free to hit a follow on the MWO League's channel. There's more matches to come after this. I'm looking at Raptor Talons in the red as they're coming in. We have a standard drop deck of Arctic Wolves and Vipers, so I'm going to check the builds, but I'm assuming, yeah, just splat on those Arctic Wolves. They got 2 of those, and then they've got 3 Vipers with heavy machine gun ER micros on 1, 2, and 3 builds identical.
Looking over here at high, we have same thing, Vipers, 3 of them. Looks like micro pulse and heavy machine gun. We have a Kit Fox, the DPS Kit Fox HMG, small pulse, and then a big testicle mech, a LB-40 Hunchback, coming in, just probably looking to get some CTs.
Yeah. So that LBX-20 kind of maybe sort of gives a range advantage to the Black Sheep Squadron, but I don't know. That's spread damage with those LBX-20s, and I don't know how much ammo they're going to be carrying. Minister is getting some Pop-Tart scouting here, but they do not have their friends with them. If Raptor Talons knew that, they'd probably just push in on them. So that's a little bit dangerous. Now we have some strikes coming out. Teams did bring strikes and UAVs. Here comes the push.
Here comes the Raptor push.
They're pushing into their own strike, so we'll see how that works out. But this is, okay, the Hunchback is being forced to drop. Can they get out in time? Yes, they've managed to survive the drop, which is the early test. And now Raptor Talons has control of the high ground. They're cleaning up some UAVs with their machine guns. Maybe not the... Nope. We have strikes going out. Now these strikes, they hit the mechs on the top. They don't hit the mechs on the bottom. So Raptor Talons probably need to dodge their own strike here. And we have the drop. One mech has fallen. There we go. Here's the drop. Drop has been called. Who is the focus target? Just a lot of machine gun fire coming out right now. Iggy's being focused from Raptor Talons. What are they looking at percentage-wise? They are legged, about to go down. Mech is down. Hunchback was getting cored out from behind by Lunar Storm. Hunchback is almost out of the fight. Still able to continue fighting. No weapons are missing. What is the next target? Maybe St. Dane. St. Dane looks like they're taking a lot of damage. The leg is open. Cutback's also taking a lot of damage over on Black Sheep Squadron. They go down. The Hunchback has a return and visitor, and they are down now. But Lunar Storm has been legged. They're trying to get back in the fight with their legged Arctic Wolf, as this is now a 3v3. Leg is gone on Arctic Wolf from Raptor Talons. This is looking in favor. Well, it's 2v2 now, but the percentages and legs are definitely indicating that Black Sheep Squadron has the advantage here. Darling goes down, legged as well, and Lunar Storm took out the Hunchback, lost their leg. They're coming into this fight a little bit slow and down in percentages. Trying to pick up a kill here. Minister's been legged, managed to survive. So this is 5 kills to 3 of victory for Black Sheep Squadron. Well, that was fast and furious.
That went pretty quick once they dropped down. I think it was a loss for the Raptors on focus fire. When they dropped down, it seemed like Pi just immediately snapped to Iggy, and he was the called target, whereas it seemed like the Raptors, I don't know if they couldn't find the called target, they didn't call a target, what it was, but losing Iggy pretty early on there was a pretty big loss for them.
Yeah. What I found interesting was that the Hunchback had a dedicated mech going to backstab them, but still managed to stay alive for a significant period of time. That was probably a deciding factor. What kind of damage did they manage to put out there? The Hunchback has 260, so not that much. So maybe it wasn't as decisive, but they did manage to stay alive and distract a Lunar Storm for quite some amount of time. I actually checked ammo counts toward the end there, and one of the surviving Vipers for Black Sheep Squadron was actually out of machine gun ammo. So that was a very close drop. I mean, one leg mech and one mech that is out of ammo just has a couple of lasers on them. That's not a strong surviving cleanup squad there, you know.
It's definitely not, but with the Hunchback having legged Lunar, it makes it where it's almost unwinnable. Having two mechs on him, one of the Vipers still had machine guns. Lunar, he may have been able to get a kill. He may possibly have been able to kill the Viper that he legged towards the end there, but to be able to pull that off and kill both of them with only one leg, that'd be a pretty tall order. Yeah,
winning a 1v1 when you're legged, not that difficult. In a lot of situations, you can just hard shield your one leg. You're not, being legged doesn't provide a significant disadvantage as long as you can keep that second leg hidden. But against 2 targets, they can just go on one on each side of you. There's no possibility to shield your leg. So, well played from Black Sheep Squadron there, picking up a win. We're going on to a 300-ton drop limit on Hellbore Outpost, and we are playing one of the side caps. I want to check to make sure I get the name of it correct.
Should be Sigma? Sigma.
Yeah, Sigma. Sigma is the cap point that these teams are going to be fighting over next.
Opposite side of the map from earlier in the tournament where it was Epsi.
Yeah, that's the thing there. It has changed, so I'm trying to make sure I get the right name.
Both teams locked and ready. Send it.
Okay. Teams are ready to play today.
Pi took all of, 13 seconds to ready up and lock, so they must know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, they've had time to prepare their drop deck, and they were waiting for us, so we don't want to keep them waiting at all. And looks like they are definitely in that rush to complete the match. They're showing it here with their actions. I mean, we're not having to run a timer on them today. Okay, I'm going to be looking at Raptor Talons as the red team is coming in on their dropships. We've got Summoner with SRM, 2 of those with the 8 SRM6 build, and then a Packet, same 8 SRM6, a Viper heavy machine gun, Era Micro, and what was the last mech? It's a 3rd Summoner, so 3 Summoners, 1 Huntsman, 1 Viper. All of them have jump jets and are looking to brawl.
Coming in with Pi, bunch of fellas are going right after my own heart with 4 linebackers, all running 6 SRM6, and a Viper.
Okay, so the linebackers lack jump jets, so they need to be making good use of these ramps and not falling down. Be my prediction there. But both teams are brawl, so there is no range advantage here. So there's a little bit of a speed advantage on the one team, and the second team has jump jets. So that is the difference between these two. Darling is looking to get a scout with a Viper. Cranect is looking to return the scouting here. Now, what do they see? I think they just see each other's Vipers. Those linebackers are down in that trench headed toward the Sigma cap. So there's no way that they're going to be spotted down there. Summoners are taking a path that I believe is a little bit low ground. Now they're coming out. They might be revealed. Viper might be getting the scout. If not already, then very soon. And Raptor Talons are still hesitating here. They have not managed to see what their opponents are doing. Linebackers are taking a path in this the wild terrain that exists around Sigma. If you've only played Quick Play, you've probably never seen it. Unfortunately, it's not a played part of the map. These linebackers have run out of road, though, so they're going to have to drop. Take a little bit of leg damage.
I understand their idea of wanting to run around the back. They don't know that Raptors are bringing Brawl. They could think they're running up against Mid-Bomb, DACA, who knows. So they're hiding back there. But I don't see... Is there a way to get up to Sigma from there?
No, they'd have to drop down, and then they can wrap around behind Sigma. I think they're looking to ambush the opponents when they go onto Sigma, not knowing that their opponents are also bringing Brawl here. So these linebackers probably just going to hold in position until they see that Sigma cap being flipped, or the Viper from Black Sheep Squadron is now going to take the cap point for themselves. Summoners are now making the push. I don't think they've seen the linebackers, but they've made a decision here. A Viper stepped on the cap, immediately got off. Now, here we go. This is the moment of truth. Is Darling going to see these linebackers? Is there a UAV above them? There is a UAV up. I don't know if it's in range. Is that a red UAV or a blue UAV? I think that's a blue UAV. The red UAV is not going to see those linebackers. So Raptor Talon still probably does not have the information as to what their opponents are bringing, but they're stepping on the cap here now with the full summoner loadout.
I'm thinking, just looking now,
there we go.
This kind of favors Raptors. They have the bigger Brawl here,
the push is coming.
The speed of the linebackers doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'd agree. Slow Brawl beats fast Brawl, in my opinion. You just have more guns or more armor as you have less speed. So St. Dane's at the front with the summoner. They're probably going to be the focus target here. Lunar Storm needs to move up, get in this fight, and Minister is the primary point of the push here for Black Sheep Squadron. That mech is also self-isolating to an extent. Vipers are trying to backstab here. No one's gone down yet, but St. Dane has an open leg. Minister looks like they've lost a leg and their second leg is open. Minister is the first mech down. So St. Dane still up 51% open leg. Viper got a team kill there. So there's 2 mech advantage here for Raptor Talons. St. Dane's about to go down. Everything's missing off their mech. Finally down. But the percentages are going to be favoring Raptor Talons here. And just a lot of weapon fire going out right now. Lunar Storm's taking rear damage, leg damage. The focus fire is a little bit better on Raptor Talons, I would say. They also just have more armor as well. Cutback's been legged and their linebackers should be going down right now. And it's down to just the Viper. Oh, Viper got double legged there from an SRM volley. And the kill was not returned, so Lunar Storm does manage to survive. So Black Sheep Squadron picks up 1 kill, Raptor Talons picks up the win.
Take a look at the damage here. Let's see what we got. Iggy coming in with the highest damage, 625 in the packet. Coming down second highest, Cutback on Pi coming in at 550. Their damage is kind of all over the board.
Yeah, Viper with 420 damage there from Black Sheep Squadron. Raptor Talons Viper 300 damage, also quite respectable. There was a team kill in that mess though, so I don't know if that was from a strike or what happened there. But Raptor Talons comes out with a fairly clean victory. Actually, there are no kills on Black Sheep Squadron, so that would indicate to me that the Raptor Talon's death was a self-destruct, probably from overheating.
It was. St. Dane self-destructed.
I mean, their mech was just missing everything. The legs were gone. Side torso was one was gone. The other was very low. So it doesn't take a lot of structural damage to get the overheat death. Then
I think that's part of why Raptors was able to take that. Is Saint was just taking damage and twisting and soaking as much damage as he could for way too long. He had two linebackers just sitting there, seemed like almost dedicated to taking him down, and it took maybe half of that fight for both of them to just to actually get him to die while he was still shelling out damage towards them.
Yeah, that's a big thing in these types of brawls. The team that gets the first kill is just an indicator of how strong your focus fire is, and also, brawls snowball. The moment that you kill a mech, you can switch your target to another mech, and just having a minor kill lead, even half a mech no longer firing for the next 5 seconds or what have you, that can be a deciding factor in those brawl fights.
I am curious what Pie's thought process was for that roundabout. It was obvious they were laying the trap for something to hop on Sigma, but I don't know exactly what they expected to happen there. If they thought they were just going to get a bunch of back shots or what. Because if there was range Overwatch or mid-vom, they would still Raptors would have still controlled the cap. There was slow brawl, like it was there. They have the SERM advantage, and the linebacker speed advantage is gone. So I'm not sure exactly what they were thinking there on that one.
I mean, the reason you take fast brawl is to try and run down a firing line, but you're very correct that if there was a firing line, they probably would have gone high ground from where those summoners approached, and the linebackers would have had to push through the open and upper ramp. So I love the linebacker, but I suspect that map is just not favorable to linebacker brawling. Okay, both teams are locked. Both teams are... Okay, so we've got 385 tons on the Raptor Talons to 400 tons on Black Sheep Squadron. A little bit of a tonnage difference here. It's a 400 ton limit on the Terra Therma Crucible map. We're playing Theta Cap, which is in the center of the volcano.
Looks like, yep, Raptors bringing kind of what I expected.
I'm going to be looking at the Black Sheep Squadron here as they're arriving.
Capture and hold the resource points. Stop any hostiles that get in your way.
They have brought Direwolf with a 6 AC5, 1, 2, 3 of those, and a Night Gear with AC10 ERPPC, so that is a mid-range push. And they're pairing that up with a Mislinks, which is going to go get the cap. Machine gun, 2 flamer, standard machine gun, 2 flamers, and ER small. So flamers are an interesting touch there. Could be very effective on this map.
Speaking of interesting flamers, on the Raptor Talons, we have 4 Madcap Bravos, all with UAC 5s and UAC 10, and 2 of which also are rocking 2 flamers.
Okay, I mean, Raptor Talons are known for using flamers, so incorporating them on a Mad Cat is very interesting to me.
Fight about to be on Theta here, Mislinks versus Mislinks. If Darling's going to take the fight, which he is not.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd take that fight myself personally. Early duels in a light just kind of lead to damage and prevent you from doing your main job later, which is taking out assaults. Light's kind of being a bit of a counter to assault mechs to an extent, depending on builds and chassis and all of that. Cap has gone the way of Black Sheep Squadron, so Raptor Talons do have pressure on them. They are pushing in with their Mad Cats, taking the crater.
Oh, Darling is doing something real dumb. He's taking a lot of damage. He went and tried to poke the Night Gear. Just took a lot of damage to, I'm not sure if he was trying to scout or what he was doing there.
Arm is open, but only 84%, so not too bad. Kranect is taking damage as well. Got in the line of fire of a UAC Mad Cat there.
Resource point Theta is ours.
So far it's just the Night Gear in the crater for Black Sheep Squadron, so Both teams are content to sit back. They're trying to force the opponents to do a receive, push into the receive line. Cap has been taken now by Raptor Talons. Darling at that low percentage still has both legs, so they can take the cap point and get out. There's a strike on Lunar Storm. They're not even walking out of it, just eating the strike. A little bit of rear damage, nothing big. Now, the Night Gear is being focused out. There's a push coming in here. Mad Cats are slow pushing. 2 Mad Cats trying to get the angle on that Night Gear. Lunar Storm's taking more damage here, being the point of the tip of the spear here. Open side torso on Lunar Storm. Direwolf from Minister now is getting some shots in as well. So Mistlinks are coming up in the back as that Night Gear is getting pushed. This push from Raptor Talons, they're not as cohesive as I expect. Chef Godzilla's lost his side torso here. They might be taking heat damage. And this Night Gear is 50% open center torso, but Iggy's not really in the fight yet. Lunar Storm's just pushing up as well. We also have
St. Dane
that
about
mech.
to go down.
Okay, we have 2 mechs gone down. That mech is open center torso with their Direwolf. The Night Gear's gone down. St. Dane with the Mad Cat's gone down. Raptor Talons are down in terms of bodies on the field, but they're still hanging in there. Darling and the Mistlinks is at 35%. I imagine all kinds of open on them. Looks like they might be lagged. And Lunar Storm's been focused out. Iggy's the last combat effective mech remaining here for Raptor Talons, but their side torso open as well. Probably best they can do is pick up some kills here before that Mistlinks gets in on their back. Iggy's now
poor Darling, he fell off the top there, and he had the shot on the ultraviolet that mech to be able to kill it.
Iggy's managed to get out of the pit with her Mistlinks. That is a pit of death, but if you have the jump jets, you can do it. Iggy's disarmed and dead. So, well, we've got 2 mechs here that maybe Darling can pick up a kill. I imagine they are lagged with 25%. And they've gone down. So this is a win for the Black Sheep Squadron. They are pulling out ahead in the match now. Open center torso, missing side torso for Cutback's Direwolf. And that mech in their ultraviolet Direwolf is cherry red center torso open, 50%. So that is not a comfortable lead in terms of health at the end of that fight, though. But they have come out with a strong victory. Actually, they had one more mech at 95% Minister, probably putting in a lot of damage from that side flank, but not taking any return fire. I've actually lost track of them in that fight. So this is a 5 kills to 1 win here for Black Sheep Squadron. We've got...
Yeah, I honestly think that Raptors runs that deck quite a bit. 4 Mad Cats and a Viper or something, or 4 Mad Cats and the Mythling, something along those lines. So it could be that Pi just simply countered them, because the counter to pushing Daka is slower Daka.
Yep.
And I think Pi just simply mech labbed them. I think Raptors took their push a little, either a little too late or a little preemptively. The timing of it was just kind of poor.
And Raptor Talons actually gave up a little bit of tonnage on that drop deck as well. They were at 385, if I remember correctly. So maybe that missing 15 tons is kind of one of the deciding factors here. There's one more drop to be played in this match, and Raptor Talons needs to win that to secure their first place, because at present this will have pulled Black Sheep Squadron into the lead.
Yeah, I think they're, for some reason, I don't know why, maybe he's just more comfortable in it. They dropped Viper, which would have been extra, at least most of that extra 15 tons, down to a Mistlinks.
Had they maybe used up their 4 Vipers? They are chassis limited to 4. They used 3 in the first drop, I believe.
You know what? You're right.
In the third drop. So they were out of Vipers. That would be why, probably.
Yep, you are correct.
So the chassis limit actually coming into play. Damage totals, they're on the screen. They're now no longer on the screen. Hopefully everyone got a good look at that. I've got
Minister came in with 600 some odd damage there.
Okay, so the flanking Direwolf. So I've got the points here at 37 to 28 in the favor of Black Sheep Squadron over Raptor Talons. So That puts them up by 9 points. These teams came in with a 6-point gap, so that would mean that Black Sheep Squadron is currently 3 points ahead of Raptor Talons for that first place position. If my quick maths worked out. 3 points is not a lot of anything. Well, that does mean that Raptor Talons needs to come up with a win here in order to secure their first place, and we aren't actually certain that that will secure first place, as Team Optic had 197 points before the match they played out earlier today, the results of which I don't know. So without a strong victory here from either Black Sheep Squadron or Raptor Talons, Team Optic could pass them from the third place position and catapult into first place if they had a big result in their earlier match, which, for anyone interested, there would be a replay on the Trouts channel. I believe they were the caster for that match, double checking. Yeah, so Trout was the caster of the NAF versus Team Optic match that took place about 3 hours ago, so that VOD will still be on Twitch if you're interested in catching the results of that. I don't know if either of these teams know the results. I'm guessing that they do, but they might know how many points they need. And yeah, this is down to the wire. I think that they're both playing for first place going into this last drop. Results of the other match that I don't know, notwithstanding.
Both teams are locked.
Wow.
495 for Raptors and 450 for Pot.
And here we go, playing for all the marbles.
These are the exact circumstances that SROT needed to pop themselves into first if they came out real strong against NAF. So right after this, I'm going to go take a look at that and see what the score wound up being.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully that was a good match to watch as well. I guess it was a strong divisional seeding here in order to get these kind of results. The must have gotten the teams more or less correctly seeded. I'm looking at the Black Sheep Squadron. We've got a Magcat Mark II with LBX-20s and SRM-6 non-Artemis, so that is a brawl push mech if I've ever seen one. They've got another one with, that one has Artemis on their SRMs. They've got a Death Strike with LBX-20 medium pulse, 4 medium pulse, so that's a, okay.
Interesting build.
Paired up with a Keeper LBX-20 SRM-6 and a Broiler with 2 UAC-20, 3 SRM-6 Artemis. Now that mech has a heat skill limit that allows you to fire those 2 UAC-20s together. Looking at Raptor Talons here. Spear Bear LBX-20 ERPPC SRM-6 Artemis that has Mask as well, should be plowing its way in. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of the same build. And then their fourth mech is an Executioner, Large Pulse and Micro Pulse. Now this is a 4v4 engagement to start off with. Both teams not waiting for their fifth player, just pushing right in, getting this fight off started right at the start. Raptor Talons have opened up and taken a leg off of Minister's Highlander, picks up the kill instantly. Now St. Dane has taken a lot of return fire, 61% has been halved. Oh wow, Supernova Broiler goes down, or Boiler, my correction. Darlings continue to push in. They've taken a lot of rear damage, and Side Torso is off. That mech goes down, Darling's still alive. There's only 2 mechs remaining for the Black Sheep Squadron, but Raptor Talons have a lot of damage as well. Cutback's been legged. I imagine that they are going to be, yep, Cutback's down. And we've got Iggy face-hugging and backing up the Mad Cat for Inferna, who has been legged. Can they pick up a return kill here? Iggy has powered down, but they are twisted on that power down. Center torso, nope. Infernal manages to pick up that kill, potentially going for the crotch shot. Darling managed to survive as Iggy goes down. Sorry, not Iggy, Inferna. Inferna goes down. So Darling halved, a lot of rear damage or internal damage, maybe from heat, but they managed to survive. This is a Raptor Talons win on this drop. And with that, I think that they've picked up the division win. They'll pick up 14 points here. Raptor Talons picks up 2 kills, which is worth 3 points. So I'm going to try and run that through the calculator in a couple seconds here, but I do believe Raptor Talons has picked up the divisional win. Depending on depending on the results of that NAF versus Clam Command.
I'm trying to find the Trout stream to see if I can get an end screen.
Yeah, so you can just get the points there so we can declare it here on stream. Would be a nifty thing. Yeah, just looking at the damage, relatively even on both teams, with the potential exception of the primary called targets. The first victim there, Minister, getting legged quite fast in that Highlander 2C Keeper. I hope nobody was stripping leg armor in that drop. When you're in a brawler, you want to take full leg armor, generally speaking. So what I've got the result of this match is 42 points in the favor of Raptor Talons to 40 points for Black Sheep Squadron. Raptor Talons coming in with a 6-point lead, so they are going to be ahead of Black Sheep Squadron by 8 points, assuming I did all the math right and correctly entered the results. 8 points, that is not a whole lot, so...
Yeah, I'm looking. I found the Trout stream. Let's see. So I was looking here at the last drop, presuming that he kept the scoreboard updated. It looks like in the last drop, before the points of the last drop have been updated, NAF is at 38 points and SROT is at 25 points. So if that's true, even if SROT wins this particular match I'm looking at here, which let me see, I presume they do. NAF came in, ended with 43 points, and SROT ended with 39 points, which will not be enough to take them up to Raptors, I don't believe.
No, it won't even be enough for second place. So with that result, Raptors will have first, Black Sheep Squadron will have second, and Team Optic will have third. Now these are all preliminary results or whatever. They're going to be double checked by someone who's, when they can pull up the match ID codes properly, hopefully in a day or so, and confirm all the results and so on. So, but that is the declaration that we're going to make here for now. The unofficial declaration. Raptor Talons in first of Division E, with Black Sheep Squadron in second and Team Optic in third. Now, there's a couple teams playing yet, so I don't know if NAF is going to be retaining their fourth place or not, as Ford and Bandit Reaper Squadron are going to be playing yet. But for now, that is looking like the current results. So I've been Therax. I'm doing the cast here. I'm coming back with another cast in about an hour, well, just about 2 hours, a little bit under 2 hours. So if you want, hit a follow on the channel. We'll get some more MWO comp in a little bit. Joining me as co-caster was Giggity Goo.
Always good to be here.
Thank you for co-casting with me, running the lobby, taking a little bit of that overhead off of me. And thank you for the teams for waiting to start their match so that we could come in here and cast it. It was a very exciting match to watch. Always love to be able to cover those 1 versus 2 type divisional finals as it is. We had a great match here today, and thank you viewers for joining us, supporting MWO Comp and both of these teams. I think that covers everything, so I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. Be back in a couple hours.
Sounds good.